Hey guys, welcome back to Easeldoesitstudio. So today we're going to do something totally different. I was scrolling through YouTube and I came across this channel. I just looked it up too. Function Craft or something like that. And this woman did an amazing like 3D bird embellishment type thing. And I was like, oh my gosh, is that gorgeous? So I went through all my stuff. I pulled out all kinds of different things to see if I had something similar that I could make it work to a point. So normally these would be like things that you stake in your plants or hang, something. These are bookmarks that I've had forever. And it's got a little hole here, so we can actually hang something once we're done. So what I have done is she only used 3 sizes. So you have one size, a little bit smaller size, and then an even smaller size. So there's 3 sizes this is just plain copy paper. So I printed them out. I spray sealed them with some just clear spray sealer. You could use Mod Podge. I don't even think she used anything, but I didn't want to take a chance. I did cut the wings a little bit, and I am going to have to cut the beaks off of the 2 smaller ones. But what I did different is I made a mirrored image one, and we are just going to glue these 2 together. So when you're looking from the back, you'll have the color the same as on the front. So I am going to do that first, and I think, what am I going to use for glue that will dry fairly quick? Let's see. Oh, I don't know. Let's see. I don't know. Maybe we'll try the liquid fusion. We don't need a lot. That is, and I want it to dry fairly quickly. I just want to be able to adhere these together, and then we're going to UV them anyways, so we'll be able to UV them together, but I need to get them to stick. And I'm thinking this is probably going to be the easiest thing to do it with. So I am just going to take a thin brush. I was thinking about using clear Elmer's glue, but I don't know. I know this stuff dries fairly quick, and I do have some butterflies cut out, printed out and sealed, not cut yet, but I am going to use the paper to get the adhesive on. So this step here would be totally optional, but I don't know. I just thought it would make the piece more finished. said, I don't know if this is going to work on paper or not. I don't know. I've never used it on paper. But once we get our first layer of UV resin on there, it should stay. All right, I'm just gonna set that aside for now. Let me just clean this brush off because I don't wanna ruin the brush. So I just dipped it in some acetone and cleaned it off. So that way, okay. So I'm gonna let that dry for a minute. And what I'm gonna do is, because I don't have like a lot of the embellishments that she had, I have got to compromise. And I have to make my own. Because I'm poor like that, you know? All right, so I am, and I want it kind of like, I don't know, fanned out a little bit. And I am going to put some of these into this resin, just so we can get a little bit of iridescent in some areas. So I think you guys are going to really, really like this if I can pull it off. So I have not tried this first. I just found her channel yesterday. So I was like, okay, I want to do that. Let me get a little stick here. And these are just going to be to add a little bit of a sparkle here and there. And I am going to spread this out thin. I'm just trying to get these all spread out. All right. And I am also gonna put some of these little iridescent beads. So I am gonna do another little pile over here. And I've never put these in either, so I don't know if these are gonna even cure in there, but we'll find out here. So this way we will have two different types of resin paper. Now I don't know how this one's gonna work because of the balls, but I'm gonna try and smush it as much as I can anyways. And we will see kind of what we get. All right, so let's flip that over. And what do I have underneath here? Something is, oh, it's one of the beads. Get over in your pile over here. Come on. Oh, well. All right, so we'll see if that even cures. Give that a few minutes in there. And I am also going to have to make find my little tiny flower molds. All right, let me put you on a pause for a moment so I can find my little molds. Okay, so I found them. Oh, I've got to clean them, but I found them. So I'm just going to make 1 or 2 of these little flowers. And I think I'm going to make it in, I think I'm going to make 1 in this purple and 1 in this greenish whatever. I don't even know what this is called. And then I also have this. So I'll get some little cups and we will just make up a couple of different ones. So I'll just put a little bit of resin in each cup. And, oh, let me get rid of this glue before I completely make a mess here. And move the glue back so I don't grab that by accident. All right, so I'm gonna grab some of this. And let's see. What size? What size? I guess we're gonna have to put just a little bit more of this UV resin in here, because I need it to be thin enough to flow into the flower. Okay, and then let's try some of this, because there is some of this greenish, goldish in here. And then I'm gonna save whatever's left, because we can also add it to the bird after. So I'm just gonna move these ones out of my way. And we'll get that one in and get that one curing. And I have it in my UV light, the double-sided one. And let me see how this one is gonna look in resin. I've never used this one, so I have no clue. So normally, if you've got all your stuff, these don't take that long at all. But because I'm having to make my own stuff, it's going to be a little bit of more of a process. So the other thing that I didn't have that she used were like double-sided sticky foam pieces. I don't have that. So I'm going to improvise, and I'm going to use these felt pads. And hopefully it works. And I will just put a little bit of double-sided sticky tape on this side and hope and pray that it works. Now we only need little squares, so I'm gonna put the double-sided sticky tape on here first, just to be on the safe side, so that I can, you know, then when I cut my pieces, I will know how much I need to cut off. Just cut that excess, and I'll just stick it over here in case I need it. Oop. And all right, so I'm only going to need 2 pieces like that. So I'm gonna find a spot to get this out of my way. So those seem dry. I'm just gonna put them in there again. So before I start getting the UV resin on here, I got to get that on there before I put this on and this. And these, I believe I had got at Michael's years ago, so they're just like little hooks. So I'm going to put the foam, after I UV it, I'm going to put the foam, and I'm going to put the hook this, kind of this way. And then the next size is going to, oh, I got to go this way. I got to make sure I'm putting it on the right side here. All right, so I'm going to do it like that. Then the foam, and then this is going to go on this one, and then this one is going to go on this one, and then we're going to embellish this. So that is the plan to start with. But I've got to get the UV on my first bird first. So I just want to, so that's one of our little flowers. And that is one of the other little flowers. Now I'm just flipping them over in the light to make sure that the top, oh, that's really pretty. All right, so I'm gonna put those under the light. I'm gonna put some gloves on because, well, at least on one hand, because I've got to coat my bird. Gosh, I hope these come out good because they were so gorgeous. I'm like, wow. And she had a lot of other good ideas too on some night lights, so I'm going to be getting some of those. All right, so basically all she did was take the bottle of UV and basically just coat her whole bird. And she didn't say anything whether she had sealed them first or what kind of paper she used. So I just used my regular printer paper, and I did seal them. Like I said, with some spray sealer. And that's why I said I wasn't too worried as long as they could stick together enough, because I know, you know, adding this UV resin, it's gonna, you know, stick the paper together anyways. All right. And then I am just going to give that a cure. And it left a fingerprint, but that's fine because it's going to be hidden on this first bird. So actually what I'm going to do is I will start getting, and these two I split the wing so that hopefully I can catch them before they're completely dry, and give them a little bit of a bend. So this one here, I'm only going to UV the one side, whereas that other one, I am gonna do both sides. Now, I don't know if I'm just using too much of the resin. Let me take my stick and, yeah, I think that's going to be better. I don't think we need such a thick layer. Whoa, that is not what I wanted to do. And gosh almighty, why is it whenever you're filming is when, you know, things act up? Get back in my hand here. So now I got to put a little bit more. So I might end up putting the second glove on. I was like, oh, I should be fine with just one. But yeah, we know how dang messy I am. So I'm probably going to put the other glove on while I'm doing the UV part. And I'm pushing the other one because it rolled, because it was thick, so it bent. So I'm trying to get it under the light so I can get it to go back the other way now. So I'm holding this one up a little bit. So I'm curing it from the back side. On that other bird, he's starting to bend too. So I don't know what she used for paper, but mine are wanting to bend, so. And then I'm gonna do the back side. So let me put a glove on. Oh, and you know what? I wanted to cut the beaks off of the two smaller birds because we only need the one beak. All right. All right. So we've got that one done. Let me get this one coated just really lightly, just so it has the shine on both sides. And you know what I might do is I might grab my my UV flashlight, because that might be a little bit better. I don't know. Yeah, this might work better. And so I'm kind of pushing down in the center, just to kind of get it to stay the shape I want. All right, so that one is done. We'll shut this off, and I will get this one done. So I'm wondering, doing this, I think, is going to be better. I'd rather do two real thin layers than to have them buckle like they were. All right, so I'll get under there. Yeah, I think this is gonna be the way to go, guys, is brushing that on. You know, obviously, you want a good enough layer where you don't see any lines, but you don't need it so thick that you know, and these are probably not going to be perfect because, like I said, I've never done these before. This is something brand new. All right, get my gloves here wiped. Now this one here is, this, I believe, is the smallest bird. So this one, we've got to make sure that he is nice and smooth. Come on. And I have something in there, which I think is a piece of glitter, but that's fine because we're gonna put the flowers on this one. So let's get this under there, get him cured. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna give them a good cure, and then I will be back and we will start the next step. All right, I had to go grab a soda. Okay, so this one, and then this one, so. I'm gonna try to see if I can peel this paper off here. You know, I should probably get the right stuff before I try to do something, but I'm like, I don't want to spend money if I can't make it work, right? So, and then we'll pull this paper off so we can stick our next one on. Kind of like that. And trying to do the side with the double-sided sticky tape first because that's the one that's most difficult. And that one. Crap. Hang on. All right, I could get it off. Where's my hook? Where's my hook? And I am gonna have to, you know what, I'm gonna end up having to UV resin this down. My hook should come down a little bit more, but that's fine. It's my first one. Why does this seem like it's not fully charged? I just put new batteries in both of these. There we go. So why is that not sticking? Probably because it can't get through there. I might have to use E6000. Crap. Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. All right, let me wipe that. All right, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna put this hook see here. I'm gonna put that like that. Now, if I UV over that and cure it, maybe. That might work that way. I don't know if it's just the material that it's not adhering to. I don't know. Because she had that double-sided foam squishy stuff, and it just, each layer stuck to it because it was, you know, double-sided, but I'm having to improvise here, so all right, so that seems like that's curing now. Okay. Now, somehow we have got to get this to adhere to that. So I'm going to get some E6000 and I'll put a gob of that. What is up with this today? And it's still got some UV resin on there. I'll wipe that off. And then so what I'm doing now is I'm trying to adhere the bottom part of that middle bird to the metal rod thing that we have in there. So it has something to help hold it, you know, into place. I feel like this bottom one is... All right, so this felt is having a hard time adhering. That is the problem. So I am just gonna put UV resin all around that. Because I don't want this. And then I'm gonna put it up on that metal rod at the same time. Oops, sorry guys, I'm off. I'm trying to get that to adhere all the way around because I don't want it to come off. And then I gotta drop some on this top part so it will get in the back of the wing in the metal. There we go. I was like, oh, this is gonna be easy. I can make this work. Yeah. All right, so that is definitely looking better now. At least it's staying where I want it. All right. So as long as I can keep going, then I can, you know, add to the things. So even just that, other than I don't have my heads right, but you know, you're getting the idea. I don't know. This could be a total fail. Who knows? Only because I've had to mess with it for so long. All right, let me grab a flower. And like I said, I just grabbed a whole bunch of... All right, let's check out our rice paper. So the little balls didn't do what I wanted them to do, but we can still use them on something. But let's get my scissors here. Got that. And then basically she just dropped her resin around her embellishments. See, and the reason that I made this paper was so that it would have that a little bit of iridescent. I'm not liking that piece there. All right, so let's get that cured. You know, like she had the little porcelain flowers and all that, so, but I mean, for my first piece, I think it's gonna be okay. And then I'll know what to do next time, but then I can order the correct stuff too, if it's something that I like to do. Okay. And let me, and then I also had pulled out my little gems, but I might have made the bird too small, you know, proportionate. So what I'm going to do is we're going to improvise. I'm going to take... We're going to take some of this. That's our purple, right? No, is that the purple? Yeah. All right, this is the purple. So we're just going to add some of this. On these wings to give them that little bit of sparkle. So yeah, you guys got to go and watch watch hers, because she is phenomenal. Like I said, I don't have all the little bling blings, but I think I think you're getting like the gist of it anyways, right? So now we will take some of that green. So I didn't even need the rice paper. I could have just did this. So it's looking pretty. Let's see if I can get a better, you know, I didn't line everything up. I got to trim this beak a little bit because I got a little, there we go. There we go. My wing was stuck together. So I could like embellish the stick a little bit if I had smaller, like little smaller pieces, but all right. I think I'm gonna do one more final layer over the top. I do want to add a little bit of maybe a little bit more of this. On those wings. No, that has to be the purple. So this has a little bit of that other color in it too, but it doesn't matter. Okay. All right. So just, and then I'll probably do another layer of the green at the bottom. And then I'll put it all in the curing light at the same time, just to give it a good, oh, gotta take the cover off. I'm trying to think of something else, and like another green that I might, oh. This green might actually be a little bit better. Come on. Just something to lighten it up a little bit, a little bit. Yeah, that green definitely makes the difference. So the next time I do it, I'm going to make the birds a little bit bigger. I'm going to find something different to adhere it. I would like to try the butterfly though, because I'm thinking the butterfly I could embellish with some rhinestones. So yeah, this is what we've got so far. So I think that's cute. And then what you could do is stick it in your plant, like in the back of a plant. And we could hang something from here. I don't know. That would be too big. This.
How am I supposed to do this?
He came down with his silicone, guys.
I'm ready. Let's go.
All right, so let me attach this, and then we will be done on this. So I just got to attach that, and then I'll make you a spot. Give me 2 minutes. I was thinking he wasn't going to do it.
Oh, I changed my mind. Going back upstairs.
Oh.
Bye, everybody.
He's going to do it.
I got the mail.
Okay. All right, let's see. I'm thinking this might be a good size. Oh. And there we go. Of course I did. I put my my thingy on backwards. Hang on. Of course I had to do that. They wanted the finished surface, you know, facing outward. There we go. So not too bad for our first attempt at our little 3D flying hummingbird. So I am going to be doing another one. I'm gonna do that butterfly and just see what the difference is between the bird and the butterfly. If one's, you know, I'm sure one's gonna be easier than the other, and obviously there's a little bit more space on the butterfly to work with. I could put, you know, rhinestones, and so yeah. So we'll probably be doing that. I'll probably do it on the next video since I've already got everything out. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think. And I will try and link the woman's page that I saw this from, because she does phenomenal embellishments as well. So yeah, you need to check her out. She was amazing. Alrighty, guys, I am going to put this under the light, make sure it's really cured. I'm going to, you know, twist it and turn it and do all that to make sure that it's nice and hard and cured. And I'm going to put some more UV in there, but that is the gist of our little 3D hummingbird. Now, you could even use this as a bookmark, I imagine. You could just put this part in the book. So yeah, she used like a long pin type thing. So I guess I'm going to have to place an order here and get some stuff to do this, because these are really fun. And if you had all the stuff, it's not going to take as long as it took me, but yeah. Alrighty, guys, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. It helps my channel, and it is free. And also share this out if you think somebody else might enjoy learning how to do something like this. Alrighty, guys, I will see you later. Bye. Figured I'd come outside in the sun to show the sparkle.